Yeah. Hello everyone, this is Gladiator Vale, Gladiator Angela. I'm tired and sick. She just expressed her glands, either too relaxed or too excited. It was never an issue, and then it kind of became an issue in recent months, like towards the end. Towards the beginning of the year, actually. I don't know. She's getting comfy, or she's a bit too nervy. Too nervy. I don't know. I hope everything's good. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. Yesterday, I know. Yesterday we had some pretty deep topics on Mass Effect. I know. We explored so many things. Huh? Oop. It is. Oh. We explored so many things, potato. Some sensitive topics. And some sensitive topics. Wait, did I change it? Boy, did I change it correctly? No, I didn't change it correctly, so I need to view it again. Okay. Oh. There's beautiful music going on. Beautiful music going on. Beautiful music going on. This is a pretty tough. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. Yes. Very nice. Hopefully. Oh. Trying to recover ourselves. We're pretty tired, and we're still going though. All right. We left off. Just landed on a planet we need to explore. Good. I decided to come back to Mass Effect because I kind of try to move and finish by the end of the month, hopefully. This part. I'm hoping to finish Spyro as well, and so I can get some repo or some multiplayers stream here and there. Got a lot undecided, a lot of work stuff. It's up in the air, and also like I need to develop, like figure out like what sort of streamings and stuff like that. Just right now I'm just getting accustomed and more at ease to see how she reacts if she's a bit too stressed out, because I don't want her, like, she usually comes and stays by me right when I go to stream. Usually she's not, or if I have to close the door to the kitchen because she jumps on the counter, and again I have to be careful what she eats. As a doggy that grew up in the streets, ate a lot of bad stuff, and we need to be careful. Then she gets sick, and I have to worry. It never ends. What else? What else? A lot of administrative bureaucracy, fiscal paperwork going on this period, this time of the year. I don't know if it's the same all over the world. So around this time, everybody just kind of starts getting their tax stuff together. Everything seems good. The light, I feel like, has been consistent. I think I figured out perhaps the ratio. So far so good. I need to fix something behind the screen, so I probably have to move it, and I'll screw it up again, and I have to read that stuff. But it's okay. We figure it out. Pretty huge. One thing I want to mention is that in recent streams, I don't know, there was like a chatter that usually came by when I was doing the Spyro stream, and had some really interesting combo, and I like to read some interesting messages he was writing. I think it's a he. I don't know, maybe it's not a he. But then I started seeing some weird things in the live chat that it doesn't show me any chat messages, but it says that there are messages. So I'm assuming that they are blocked messages, and or blocked users. I don't know, or maybe what do you call, like bots? But I don't know if they would be flagged. I have strict moderation going on, just because, I mean, prior history, I really don't need to get into stuff with people online. I already have plate full for a lot of other situations, and for my health as well. I'm interested in having constructive combos and or reading interesting comments if they are inspired by whatever I'm doing. If somebody doesn't like what they're watching, I mean, just to find this stream, it probably takes a lot of searching. Maybe it's probably the game. I need to figure out also like how to. I'm not into social media stuff much. Like I never have been really, since MySpace / Skype / early days Facebook and stuff like that. I think there is a space to post on YouTube. Yes, I don't know if that goes only to people, how personable that can be. I believe though I can post pictures and stuff, so I don't know if to keep everything here or to branch out. Multi-streaming I've been considering, since Twitch is much bigger for the streamers that into gaming. There's more variety there than YouTube is more into shorts and edited videos. Although I'm just, as I said, I'm just kind of getting used to and gathering a bit of tools of a bit of a habit to do this. So like, I don't know if I didn't look into it, but if there's anybody who writes like nasty stuff, or that they would be flagged. I don't know if, well, that's I don't say that's a good sign, there's probably people who just go online to find people who to dump their stuff on. I cannot control, nor do I want to, how people view or interpret my presence and or my style of gaming and the way I talk, or the way I express myself, and the way I game. Everybody is free to have, supposed to be free to form their own opinion and perceptions of what they look around. Of course, there are a lot of filters for all of us, and I wonder if there is a specific like kind of negativity where that might stem from this kind of person, which is strange because I just went on live. It's really strange. Like, I don't understand if that's a bug or if there's actually something. Like, I just really got set off live and there are no messages, but it says there are messages. So I don't know if it was before I went online or after I went online. I'm not sure. But I would hope constructively if it is not like a bad thing if you don't like something or someone. If there, I would inquire, I would ask myself, I guess, why would that be? If there's something that that person reminds me of, if there are just vibes, if it's completely fine. We are elitist in nature, not in a extremist way, in a historical stuff where bad things happen to people, and concentration camps and stuff like that. Like, dear Lord, only this kind of people should exist. Only this kind of way we can express ourselves. Only this kind of clothing. Only this, like, it's for a species that claims to be free, or would want to be free. It's we gotta go the other way around most times. There's a projection of our world and what we like, and that we want that all the time all around us. And I think internet kind of increased this thing, where when you would find, like, would think it's okay to ask the other to change instead of you going to a place where you would find something, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't understand it, but it's just it's so common all over the place. But on the internet, people say like the silly things, like how we school, like mean stuff, but be derogatory, minimizing, abusive, verbally gratuitous. There's no constructiveness into, like, insults and stuff like that. You could be in a bad mood, whatever. Like, people do it all the time. You could be a minor, you think it's funny, whatever it is. I don't take it necessarily personally, because seriously, we're through a screen. I would hope that if I would ever give that, if somebody would have a negative reaction with my person's presence and or expression and or just existing, that is negative, from my point of view, it's like I can't know why that is, because it's certainly not an intent. I know perception, and I know superficiality, and I know ignorance. It's bias. It is instilled in all of us concurrently all over the world. So anybody who form an opinion that's completely untrue and based on, like, something that you think but it might be informed by somebody else that may be true to something else, but not true with everybody. So absolutisms, or seeking like a validation of that is true once, therefore it's true all the time, kind of thing. Or emotionality, just emotions, feelings. I know personally, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I am very I've become very aware that you can just not want to or do anything actively to hurt somebody, but you still do. And even just existing, somebody just can be rubbed the wrong way, You just walking down the road, or whatever it is you're doing, you're just bothering anybody, and somebody's like, ah. And it's not about you. It's about, when somebody has that behavior and the intent is not that from your point of view, it's about that person's life, that person's issues or problems or, reality. There are their filters to which your presence, whether they see you, they hear you, or they, I don't know, you come in contact, they smell you, I don't know, their sensory experience. This is just visual and audio, so I guess it's just that, and it gets filtered through that. And what was the combo? Losing the point. There was no point. It was just like an inquiry, a lot of questioning about this. Because most times it doesn't happen, then it happens. I don't know why that would be. I'm glad YouTube and all, there's a lot of minors on the web, whether it's to protect them from outside or to protect, everybody from inappropriate behavior. I don't think necessarily the insults or how it's verbalized necessarily is the issue. It's the nonchalantly and the gratuitousness and the lack of responsibility and accountability of the effect of that, whether you know or don't know that it's true, whether you care or not that you hurt somebody, whether you are hurt and therefore you pick, the first person that's there, you just dump stuff on them, or whatever it is. We're all filled with biases. We all perceive things that might not be fully reality. There's a lot of ignorance that is, think about it as a glass where you can see crystal clear, and then ignorance just gonna take out the sight through the glass. The glass becomes more opaque and more opaque in certain areas, and then you start seeing things that are not fully clear, but nonetheless we still have reactions to that. And as I usually said, ignorance is one of our worst enemies as a species in this universe. That said, I hope the mic is doing its job. I did not rewatch. I do not like, it's kind of weird watching myself still, even though acting background, it's so weird. That's another thing why editing is a bit difficult. I just don't want to rewatch myself, but better get used to it. Where were we? Should I read some codex or not? I mean, there was no point, there was no clue, there's not like an argument about it. It's just like an interesting parenthesis, open-ended parenthesis, even for future references. I'm kind of aware of this. I don't know if it's the same person, because it's kind of weird. I don't have like many viewers that I don't know or that I'm not the one checking in, so just that it's a bit weird. If they are bots or YouTube is catching something on the web. Anyway, codex. Should I read some codex? What do you think? What do you think, Potato? You just expressed your plans on me. Are you doing that again? No, huh? You're relaxed. Spitty cuddles. Is that the carryover from before? This week I already changed like 3 pounds, and I don't have much interest in doing that many loads of the washing machine. Yeah. Do we need to waste this much water? I have a product for urine, like to cover and the smell and to clear the urine off, but I don't know if it still works on this blends. This issue appeared before streaming, so I'm checking in if she's relaxed. I think she's relaxed. I'm thinking she's relaxed. For anybody who has dogs who express their glands, they've had this fabulous experience of the fishy, the fish gone bad kind of smell. So, oh worry. Oh boy, so much codex. So much codex. Let's read the Turians. Let's go with the Turians. Yeah. The Turian homeworld, Palaven, has a metal-poor core, generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolved some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term, low-level radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextro amino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race, the food of humans, Sire Solarians, who evolved in level amino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. At worst, they will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. So what do they eat? Them and the Quarians. What do they eat? Turians' culture. While Turians are individuals with personal desires, their instinct is to equate the self with the group and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honor that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of other people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it, but if directly questioned, most will confess the crime. Turians have a strong inclination towards public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. Secrets and lies. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Volos as a client race, offering protection in exchange for their physical expertise. That is very good. If you're not a businessy person, you kind of need to have a businessy person around to help you out to balance things out if you are to make money and feed yourself. Yes. Although there are communities that live not necessarily off the grid, but live in communal spaces all over the world, and they accept like an exchange labor, and both also individuals exchange labor for a place to stay or some food, and or like full on live in the community and help with farming, all the basic stuff to keep and take care of the community. Although the majority of us is behind fiscal and economic world exchange. Problematic for sure. The Turian military is the center of their society. It is not just an armed force. It is an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains spaceports, schools, water public purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marine ensures that all worlds get needed resources. The Merchant Marine. It's pretty cool, kind of like a logistics cops. Turians. Military doctrine. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of the humans. Virtuosity of the humans. The Turian military has formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Turian units don't break. Even if their entire line collapses, they fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds, you will only see a Turian's back once he's dead. Honor. Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries preventing frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their exacting skills, biotics' motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign their biotics to specialists teams called cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Right, so think about it, like I never met in the game like Turians that have biotic powers. I don't remember meeting this group, the cabals. I don't remember. No. Command, amazing work from the writers. All this lore, like world building is amazing. So much depth and variety and diversity. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery and air support. They make extensive use of combat drones for light duties and practice combined arms. The infantry operates with armor supported by overhead gunships. Strategically, they are methodical and patient and dislike risky operations. Tradition is important. Each legion has a full-time staff or historians who chronicle its battle honors in details. The oldest have records dating back to the Turian Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. The Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or absorbed minor races. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armored cavalry units that screen and support the main Turian formations. At the conclusion of their service in the auxiliaries, recruits are granted Turian citizenship. That's nice. Let's do the Koreans. Economy. The migrant fleet has little economic base, operating in a state of perpetual hand-to-mouth. While Korean ships include light manufacturing and assembly plants, they lack heavy industries such as refining and shipbuilding. The fleet has tankers for water purification and oxygen cracking, but the space-intensive nature of agriculture limits food production. A single disaster could destroy the fragile balance. They're survivalists now. Oof. I want a suit like that, though. The Koreans earn income in creative ways. Because the government is obliged to provide food, water, air, and medical support for every individual, the conclave strategically determines the course of the fleet to bring in resources and income. A species who suspects the migrant fleet is heading towards their space often offers a gift of surplus starships, fuel, and resources to convince the conclave to alter course. As the fleet passes through a system, swarms of mining vessels work over asteroids for metals and siliceous material, and cometary bodies for water, ice, and organics. Korean miners are adept at locating and strip mining spaceborne resources. This sparks conflict with corporations already working the system. Large mining concerns spend millions on lobbyists and public relations, portraying the Koreans as locusts, devouring the resources of a system before moving on. There is no asking each other like to hold space. They move freely wherever they want to go. Interesting. The greatest asset of the Koreans is their rarefied skills. Most are experienced miners. Due to their life of perpetual salvage and repair, they are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobby against the Koreans have made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Koreans to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. Koreans are widely hated among the working classes. The Koreans are coming to take your jobs is a common response to the fleet's approach. Oh dearie. Human writers, human problems. Yeah, same old, same old. It's once again a systemic problem, how the organization is sorted through jobs or financial exchanges. It's problematic. And I think it would be even more problematic if we go into like a real scenario into space where we would meet other species that are more or less with which we are more or less able to communicate. Probably. On an equal level, it's pretty hard because we don't treat each other equally, so that alone, I mean, it all stems to the reason that it depends on the first people, on the first messages that will go, what kind of engagement there is. What it's more like, like with the Turians here when they first met. I'm still reeling from the Spanish. I cleaned it, but it's okay. Government. Due to the Koreans' precarious existence and the need to enforce strict rationing, government is somewhat autocratic. The migrant fleet's operations are directed by the Admiralty, a board of 5 military officers who are advised by a legislative body called the Conclave. Each vessel in the fleet has the right to send representatives to the Conclave aboard the flagship. The number of representatives is based on crew size. Larger clans with bigger ships and more votes form the cores of political blocs. Opposition comes from the Outsiders Coalition with delegates from thousands of smaller ships. The Admiralty defers to the Conclave's decisions in most circumstances. However, if all 5 members agree that a Conclave decision jeopardizes the survival of the fleet and cannot get the Conclave to address their concerns, they have the right to summarily overturn the legislative decision. After the Admiralty uses its extraordinary power, they must resign. If the Admiralty does not step down after using their veto, the rest of the military is obliged to arrest them. It avoids like power tripping and corruption, more or less. Each ship captain has authority over this vessel, but is advised by an elected civilian council, just as the Admiralty is advised by the conclave. This relationship may range from cooperation to polite tolerance to outright hostility, but any captain who overrules this council without good reason is relieved of command by the Admiralty. Many Quarians' ships are owned by clans who pool their resources to purchase used vessels from private sellers. Large ships are prestigious for big, rich clans, but a small ship means status for a small clan with enough personal wealth to afford a private vessel. Clan vessel captains are not subject to dismissal by the Admiralty. Abusive captains are a family problem if they do not disrupt the operations of the fleet. Problematic. Quarian's migrant fleet. The migrant fleet is the largest concentration of starfaring vessels in the galaxy, sprawling across millions of kilometers. It can take days for the entire fleet to pass through a mass relay. When the Quarians fled their homeworld, the fleet was a motley aggregation of freighters, shuttles, industrial vessels, and the odd warship. After 3 centuries, all have been modified to support larger crews as comfortably as possible. As the Quarians achieved stability, they began weeding out the ships least suitable for long-term habitation, selling them and pooling the money to buy larger and more space-worthy hulls. This process is ongoing as vessels wear out and break down. While some ships enjoy dedicated cabins with full privacy and sanitary facilities, many more are former freighters whose cargo bays and containers are pressurized and divided into family spaces using simple metal cubicle bulkheads. The Quarians live in these austere spaces with colorful quilts and tapestries, which also help muffle sound. It's kind of like a refugee, nomadic lifestyle. It's tough, but if you're born into it, it's kind of like, it's kind of normal, right? The day-to-day operations of the fleet, traffic control, station keeping, supply distribution, and so on, are under military jurisdiction. Though ship captains have the authority to deviate from their assigned positions and may lead the fleet at any time, they are assumed to do so at their own risk. As the migrant fleet moves around the galaxy, many ships split off to pursue individual goals, returning days or years later. Where are they able to still keep in contact? Like, how would you know where the fleet is, right? They're not like ostracized if they leave. Individual goals. Quarians' pilgrimage. When Quarians of the migrant fleet reach young adulthood, they must leave their birth ship and find a new crew to accept them as permanent residents. To prove themselves, they must recover something of value. This is offered to their prospective captain as proof that they will not be a mere burden on the shoestring resources of the ship. This process is called the pilgrimage. Stripped of ritual, the pilgrimage is merely an attempt to maintain genetic diversity within the small, relatively isolated population bases that make up the migrant fleet. If the young stayed married within their birth vessel, the risk of inbreeding would increase sharply. Quarians are surgically fitted with their various immunity-boosting implants in preparation for leaving on pilgrimage. Having grown up within the sterile, controlled environments of the migrant fleet ships, Quarians have virtually no natural immune system. Okay, let's do. Is it this one? Genetic engineering or genetic engineering? Okay. In the 22nd century, manipulation of the human genome became commonplace. Delicate subject. Techniques of genetic engineering advanced to the point where the rich could custom-build fetuses that grew into stronger, smarter, and more attractive adults. That's where you go. I would be understanding if I would be kind of like agree if you would know that there will be an inheritance of certain diseases and lowering the probability of the diseases happening or giving that life or that fetus a better prospect for their life. Totally on board with that. I don't know how about changing like the way their brain would work and grow and or their aesthetic features. I think there's a deep worrisome trend that could arise, especially if we look at our own history and or even modern history as we live in today. A life that hasn't born, they do not choose, so their parents choose. And are their parents choosing based on accruing status, accruing resources? So that kid is basically an object, becomes an object of their own design, rather than having that life become an independent and unique life that has their own personality and their own unique core. Then, of course, it is shaped, nature plus nurture. It is shaped then by the surroundings and etc., etc., etc. So, like, how deep that would go? What is considered stronger? What is considered smarter? What is considered attractive? There are different kinds of intelligence. There are different kinds of aesthetic features. There are different kinds of strength. If they're generically speaking of, you would give the most attractive features that would give, like a standardized look of like beauty that would be pleasant for others to look at, and then increasing to be around your social skills, your social asset. Basically, it's aesthetics and expressions becomes a social asset where but then it's like people like there's so many parentheses that I can't dive into. Like I just do 4 hours out of this. Smarter, like are we talking about IQ? Are we talking about human intelligence? Is that is that a genetically engineered kind of thing? Because and it's that commonplace. The fact that it says that rich people could custom build fetuses already creates a bias, then creates further division, where life becomes like an asset of your parents, and you become then it's a cycle that keeps on going then, rather than we go into the areas where we know of genetic diseases that are lethal or that would prevent from that fetus to go to term, become a full-on individual, autonomous individual. Hopefully later on, if you could prevent people from being born with disabilities, like hearing impaired, sight impaired, physical impairment like limbs and stuff like that, that would be like a good use if done so every time, like ponderously and like with not erasure, but like an acknowledgement of like this is the consequences of having this, living this life with this disability, or having this disease. Like think about the degenerative diseases, like if there's a way to find it in a genetic space that you are gonna get that. Think about the pressure that it relieves on you, just the fact alone that we can find the traces of it, you know, we can find into the analysis in an early fetus. That alone is just like, whoa. The fact again that it's behind paywall, that creates a human problem and a humanity problem, to which and how the technology is used and for what reasons and purposes. It's a very dangerous area, and there's plenty of historical how badly and how badly it can go, you know. Still today, 2025, thousands of years on this planet, we're still like we're still on the traits and then like if you apply this today, it's like, whoa. There's a lot of human ignorance and a lot of biases, instead of like the full ownership, accountability of your own perspective, and rightfully so, of having your own likes and dislikes, if they are earned and learned and or discovered in a healthy way rather than in a reactionary way based on trauma, you know, whatnot. Perhaps inevitable, because life is also, it's also that. It's not just like fairy tales and, you know, happy endings. It's also not supposed to be like just like pain, trauma, like hurt. Like it's also not supposed to be like the other, you know, villains are, you know, in charge of everything. Villains, you know, ego, ignorance, and all of the stuff that, you know, the darkness of us all that takes charge, that controls us, and or creating things that then just become systems that they're too much to handle. Corruption, you know, then just being eaten up by power, or what power stands for. Your positions, like the fact that you can decide other people's, I mean, so many things. You know, are the doctors, the geneticists, the engineers like competent enough? Are there psychologists competent enough that go along with this program and these processes? Then are the parents also like well-developed human beings that are in, you know, they're in a healthy space, wanting to bring a life in this world, in this fictional world, for example. And it's very fascinating and interesting. It's full of dangerous traps that are, some of them are objectively communal, the shared consciousness, right? And some of them are like individual for every person that would face this. Like it would be like different challenges, different decisions, different opportunities, hormones, not just physiologically, hormones and stuff like that. They figured it out in the future, perhaps. In more permissive regions, custom-designed life forms and uplifted animals occupied an ill-defined niche between property and sapient being. Isn't it weird? Like, your kid is just, well, it's not weird at all. It happens every day. Parents want to shape. They want to shape their kid. It's like a trophy. So many dangers, man. So many dangers. Travel to planets with unique forms of life brought an awareness that Earth's unique biodiversity could be lost if spliced and hybridized to gain useful alien qualities. The Sudham-Wolfcott Genetic Heritage Act was passed by the Systems Alliance Parliament in 2161. It imposed sharp restrictions on controversial uses of genetic engineered, but provided government subsidiaries for beneficial applications. Screening and therapy. Most governments provide free assessments and corrective therapy for genetic diseases in prospective parents. This has nearby eliminated everything from cystic fibrosis to nearsightedness. The earlier screening and therapy is performed, the more comprehensive the results. Though ideally performed on artificially fertilized zygotes in a lab, procedures are available for embryos in the womb and newborns, out of respect for personal beliefs. Wow. Technology. Medicine. Enhancement. Improvement of natural human abilities is legal, but adding new abilities is not. Treatments to improve strength, reflexes, mental acuity, or appearance are permitted. Adding a tail with the ability to adjust cellulose is not. You could do that. Become photosynthesis. Some genetic enhancement is provided for free to Alliance military recruits, but the average citizen must pay for the privilege. The process can take years to reach fruition in an adult. I would assume, I don't know if just the procedure would give. There's only a certain amount of way that the genetic development can reach. There's also the nurturing of those abilities. Like if you don't lift weights, like your muscle is not. It's kind of like that, right? I would think. Maybe mental acuity or appearance. Appearance. I don't know, for appearance, because there, it would not be the kid to decide the appearance, so that's kind of weird. It is strange, because today we come out into this world again without knowledge, without knowing where, we don't know. And in some way, it is still somebody else. It is somebody else's choice. Hopefully, full acknowledged choice. Rather than culture, it is the way it is, or more violent, consequences. Consequence of violent, etc. Yeah, appearance is weird. Aesthetics. I don't know, but that just kind of streamline the uniqueness of each life. It just becomes like everybody just starts looking the same. I don't know. The average citizen must pay for the privilege. Engineering. Artificial hybridization of genes from compatible non-human species with human genetic code is illegal. Like taking stuff from other species. Creation of designed life is broadly legal. and mainly used for terraforming and medical applications. But sentient creatures are heavily regulated, and creation of sentient life is outlawed by both the Systems Alliance and the Citadel Council. So creating like from scratch, like a new species, for example, like you create some new species. Interesting. You would have like I don't know, if you take like Skyrim, you would have kind of like tabaxis, or if Skyrim, I mean D&D, you have kind of like tabaxis. I do know that there are technologies nowadays that kind of are dealing with this. People are getting implants, whether they're chip-based implants or, you know, horns, like kind of like accessories implanted. Where thus the freedom of choice and ability to acknowledge and account for yourself and your own appearance and autonomy, bodily autonomy, and where it becomes like something that affects the concept of life and of the human species. If you all, if you would all look like start looking like kind of hybrid creatures and stuff like that. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. There's a both mental, emotional, and physical aspect to all these things. It's fascinating, but it's also very difficult to appearance. No. Brigade's heat management, combat drones, elevated armor, disruptor torpedoes, Guardian. I think it's this. The ship's general area defense integration anti-spacecraft network Guardian consists of anti-missile, anti-freighter laser turrets on the exterior hull. Because these are under computer protocol control, the gunnery control officer needs to do a little beyond turn the system on and designate targets as hostile. Since lasers move at light speed, they cannot be dodged by anything moving at non-relativistic speeds. Unless the beam is aimed poorly, it will always hit its target. In the early stages of a battle, the Guardian fire is 100% accurate. It is not 100% lethal, but it doesn't have to be. Damaged fighters must break off their repairs. Lasers are limited by diffraction. Beam spreads out, decreasing the energy density watts per square meter the weapon can place on a target. Any high-powered laser is a short-ranged weapon. Guardian networks have another limitation: heat. Weapons-grade lasers require cooldown time, during which heat is transferred to sinks out of radiators. As lasers fire, heat builds within them, reducing damage range and accuracy. Fighters attack in swarms. The first few will be hit by Guardian, but as battle continues, the effects of laser overheat allows the attackers to press ever closer to the ship. Constant use will burn out a laser. Okay, so the first fighters are the ones at the most danger. They're kind of like the front of the line. They're gonna be hit with more accuracy. Yeah. Checks out. Guardian lasers typically operate in infrared frequencies. Shorter frequencies would offer superior stopping power and range, but degradation of focal arrays and mirrors would make them expensive to maintain. And most prefer mechanical reliability over bleeding-edge performance where lives are concerned. Solarians, however, use near-ultraviolet frequency lasers with 6 times the range, believing that having additional time to shoot down incoming missiles is more important. Oops, sorry. Lasers are not blocked by the kinetic barriers of capital ships. However, the range of lasers limits their use to rare knife fight, range ship-to-ship combat. Fascinating. Fascinating. Ongoing. Super cold planet. Looking for mineral deposits. Looking for mineral deposits. Look at this sandy appearance. So cool. Perimeter. No mineral deposits, huh? Crashed probe. Crashed probe. There's no minerals, huh? No mineral deposits on here. Nada. Perhaps they're on the other side. Oh. Uh-oh. Top of the mountain? Yes, it is. Not gonna reach that. There's gonna be some fighting in here. Thank you for the petting gel. Uh-oh. Who are these guys? Are they drones?
I smell trouble!
Shoot! Mercenaries. Oh.
Locked and loaded.
Okay, we got the Krogans all the way. Got the Turians all the way. Got the snipers. Oh, it was a crime boss. It was a crime boss. Got the crime boss. Oh. My aim is so bad. Helena was right. These guys had quite the operation going. That's all going to change. One down, just one more to go. This was the crime boss
That's the last of them.
of the business lady. What sort of operations are you having? He's gonna try to get rid of us too, for sure. Get rid of the evidence. Aye. Silly times, huh? Silly things. Got a new level. good haul, yes. Let's go. So, yeah. Light metal. I guess we can kind of do everything, huh? Kind of did everything. Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, hello. Hello, beautiful princess. Can't get off of Malgon. We did the both Gemini Sigma. So should I go Voyager Cluster? Yes. Let's go Voyager Cluster. The Amazon. Yangtze. Oh, there was a mission. I think this was Garrus's. I think this was Garrus' mission. Grazie. Grazie patatissima. Grazie. Pocicchi ancora un pochettino. Patatini. Spaghetti, patatini. Spaghetti has a thin atmosphere composed of neon and chlorine. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of silica. With deposits of copper. During the long cold night, the chlorine in the atmosphere falls to the ground in the form of frost. During the long cold night, the chlorine in the atmosphere falls to the ground in the form of frost. Orbital period 123.6 Earth years. Radius 7,304 kilometers. Day length 57.7 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.42 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature minus 118 degrees Celsius. Surface gravity 0.99 G. Rare elements. Large deposit of thorium. Alrundar. Alrundar is a small rocky terrestrial planet with a trace atmosphere of nitrogen and krypton. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of light metals with deposits areas of frozen ammonia. Orbital period 35.2 Earth years. Radius 3,718 kilometers. Day length 39.5 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.00 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature minus 96 degrees Celsius. Surface gravity 0.39 G. Protein data disk recovered. We detected a weak signal coming from the far side of the planet Alrundar. Joga brought the Normandy around and your salvage team picked up a small escape pod trapped in orbit. There was a long dead terrain inside along with a few personal items and a protein data disk. Nice. Dirigir is a small barren rock world with a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The surface is frigid and mainly composed of silicates with deposits of magnesium, aluminum, and other light metals. Dirigir has a weak magnetic field, making it unsuitable for drive-discharge operations. Beautiful. Orbital period 23.7 Earth years, radius 2,842 kilometers, day length 34.0 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.00 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 96 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 0.28 G. Light metal survey. The scans from orbit have detected a large deposit of beryllium. Bintu has an atmosphere of carbon dioxide with a permanent haze of toxichlorine and clouds of sulfurous dioxide that periodically drop torrents of acidic rain on the surface. Its crust is mainly composed of sulfurs with deposits of calcium. Like most worlds in the Voyager cluster, Bintu has only been charted within the last 20 years by Alliance surveyors. It has no known native geology. Data about the world is surprisingly brief and generic, painting a picture of an unpleasant and uninteresting place. Over the period 5 Earth years, radius 5,935 kilometers, day length 53.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.91 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 94 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 0.94 G. You land our lost planet. This planet was something. Ren Shadow. Ren Shadow is a close orbiting hot Jupiter with traces of sulfurs. Its hydrogen-helium atmosphere, the disruptive gravity well on the gas giant prevented any planets from forming nearby. Orbital period 0.5 Earth years, radius 25,957 kilometers, day length 18.1 Earth hours. Let's launch. Need to carry Garrus. Let's do Garrus and Rex. Let's do Garrus and Rex. Where am I? There are 3 research facilities. 3 research facilities, okay. Validating deposit. Heavy metal or palladium? It's the same thing, okay.
Moving out.
Sarachni. The Cerberus. Oh, this was the Cerberus facility. Okay. Ouch.
I gotta be more careful.
I knew it too. What'd you do? What did you? Did you press? Did you press something with the tail? Did you press it? Did you press something with your tail? Oh, we're so close. I exposed myself. I exposed myself to harm. Got out of color because Rex was in the way. Put myself in shoes. The commander fell. We were so close. I have a metal palladium. Let's go back. Where's Sheppard? Where's Sheppard moving? Did I press that? Or did you do that with your tail? Eliminated the threat at this facility. Continue to one of the other labs. Nearby. Is this the containment or arachnoid? Captured arachnoid. Angela, no. You're pressing. You're pressing buttons on the keyboard. You're pressing buttons on the keyboard. You can't do that. I know you're excited. I know. Fra un po' è tempo di mangiare. Fra un po', no adesso. Fra un po'. I know. Fra un po', no adesso. Fra un po'.
Looks like Cerberus has other bases on this world, Sheppard.
Ai. Oh, the nausea. Bouts of nausea. Oof. Bouts of nausea. No. Angela, oddio. Dove te ne vai, scusi? Scusi, ma dove se ne vai? Attenzione. Che fai, scusi? Oddio. Mi scusi, signorina. Non è ancora. È il tempo di coccole. Mi scusi, signorina. Se lei si muove così tanto, mi fa venire tutto su e poi io vomito. Che mi fa male già la pancia. Possiamo stare tranquille un pochettino. Fra poco mangiamo, non adesso, dopo. Fra un po'. Ok? Poi facciamo una pausa. Mi ripeto un attimo, spero che mi hai fatto venire. È venuta proprio pesante adesso, È venuta un po' pesantina la nausea. Ok? Grazie. Mamma mia, grazie. Bellissima. Bellissimissima. Mamma mia, che bella. Bellissima. Grazie. Ma grazie. Ma grazie. Bellissima. Che facciamo? I know you want more cuddles. I know you want more cuddles. I know you want more cuddles. You have to wait for a little bit, okay? She gives me the paw every time. She wants more cuddles. Yeah. And I have a little bit of spa hands. Scoochie. Oh my stomach. As if I have nausea. She just... Stop. It's bad. It's bad. Ouch. Oof. Try not to barf. I'm trying. Let's go. Let's investigate the crash probe. Yeah. Nice. I like this. Okay. Driving the map up kind of doesn't help. Let's go. Okay, guys, maybe I'll place you permanently somewhere so I don't get in each other's way. Oh, a bigger arachnoid. Okay, can I free it and maybe it goes towards me?
You must die.
No, thank you.
Charging up.
No, thank you. Yes. We've eliminated the threat at this facility. Continue to one on the other nearby lands.
Let's head to that next base, Sheppard. This is my kind of mission.
I figured, Rex. I figured.
All targets down.
Although I thought it was a different kind of mission. I forgot of the exploding containers. I really did forget. Let's go. What's this? No. I can't recall the protein. There are a few children's toys and some ragged clothes stuffed inside the top of this mountain, along with a protein data disk. Oh. Super. Nice. Uranium. Rare element. A large deposit of uranium. Where are we? Fresh probe. I think this is the one we need to go to, right? Get so gross. Let's get up. Nice. I did figure that I'm not saving much, which is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Definitely is. This. What is that? Is that a husk? Oh boy. Okay, let's do this.
On me.
Yes.
Good to go.
Thorian creeper. This is so What's a Thorian creeper? By costs.
Time to get Kahoku some payback.
Time to get Kahoku some payback. Yes, we did. Nice.
I think we're good, Sheppard.
Oh no. Oh no. Is he dead? Oh. You check for pulse but find none. Admiral Kahoku is dead, despite the ferocity. Do some destruction, neighbors. Despite the ferocity of the creatures he was sealed with, there are no signs of trauma on his corpse. The needle marks on his arm suggest a different means of execution.
Sheppard, over here. It's Kahoku.
I guess Cerberus found him after all.
So sorry, buddy. Dang it. We came in too late. I mean, a rear admiral is at the highest alliance tier, like of command, chain of command, and prestige, I guess, responsibility and so forth. Cerberus, it's not the last time I'll see you. Dang it. Yeah, Garrus is not.
I smell trouble.
It's not. Garrus is not very resilient. Listening to hits. Hello. No, what's up, you beautiful princess? You wanna take a break? You wanna take a break? Let's take a break. Pajama. A hurricane passed through here. Oh goodness. Sorry. Come back in a little bit. mummified. Yeah, state of limbo. Sickness, but we're still here. Okay. Got the bathroom break. Nope. You're hydrated and well fed. I have to change the glass. Gladiator Angela is well fed and downstairs. Hopefully not wreaking havoc in the kitchen. There's nothing on the counter, but now I worry. And she can find like little molecules and stuff that is not stopping for her, so that's our worry. So was that it for the interesting star system?
Commander, incoming signal from 5th Fleet HQ on the Citadel.
Commander Sheppard, something uncomfortable has just come up. In the First Contact War, we fired a lot of espionage probes into Turian space. We just received a mission complete burst from one of them.
Where's it been in the meantime?
No idea. Lost in transit. These probes were built in a hurry after First Contact.
What makes this uncomfortable?
When these probes were launched, we didn't have any idea who we were fighting. We didn't want to risk aliens examining our technology. The probe has a demo nuke built in. A 20-kiloton tactical fusion warhead. About equal to the bomb dropped on Hiroshima back in the 20th. If somebody finds that probe, tampers with it, you don't need me to finish, Commander.
I understand this must be handled, but I don't have anyone trained to deal with this sort of thing, sir.
I know. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. These probes have been classified for 26 years. The Council will call fusion bomb booby traps dangerous and irresponsible. The Alliance would face censure if they find this probe. I'm asking you because the Normandy can get on site quickly and quietly. It's in the Voyager cluster.
It's in the Voyager cluster. That's the opposite side of the Alliance from Turian space. How did it get there?
I don't know. It's possible someone recovered it safely and brought it there.
Huh.
It's also possible it got very badly lost. It could have been wandering the relay network since the war.
Alright.
We'll get on it immediately, Admiral. And we'll be discreet.
I appreciate that, Commander. Good luck. Fifth Fleet out.
Cleaning up their roots. Tremor. Tremor is a standard hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of methane and hydrogen in its upper atmosphere. Orbital period 33.4 Earth years. Radius 61,266 kilometers. Day length 12.5 Earth hours. Gas deposit. A large concentration of nitrogen. Sibin. A small rock and ice planet. Sibin has an extremely thin atmosphere of hydrogen sulfide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of magnesium and silicates with deposits of iron. Sibin's crust contains significant deposits of green serpentine, a mineral formed by volcanic activity. This suggests Sibin was more geologically active world in the distant past. Orbital period to 15.1 Earth years, radius 4,645 kilometers, day length 62.6 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.19, Earth atmosphere, surface temperatures -169 Celsius, surface gravity 0.5 G. Current eximia. While scanning the planet Sibin, we discovered a large mind grid in geosynchronous orbits. With help from Navigator Presley, the rocket team recovered a small unmanned probe marked with a coordinating post-insignia. Sonetma is the second of the Amazon system's arid terrestrial worlds. It is considerably less dense than its neighbor Neuka and has an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron-laced silicates with deposits of sulfur. Orbital period 6.2 Earth years, radius 9,647 kilometers, day length 44.7 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 1.16 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature minus 108 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 1.2 G. Rare element, a small deposit of polonium. Dernauka is an enormous terrestrial world, nearly twice the size of Earth. Its environment is similar to that of Mars, arid and a mix of craggy basalt highlands and sun-scoured deserts of iron-based silicate dust. Dernauka's atmosphere mainly consists of carbon dioxide and argon. The planet's mass is weighted enough that measurable amounts of helium and even molecular hydrogen remain trapped in its atmosphere. The planet's gravity well is deep enough that it has collected nearby a dozen small satellites, most captured asteroids. Its surface is scarred by many large impact craters, marking the final resting place of another captured asteroids. Orbital period 3.1 Earth years, radius of 11,728 kilometers, day length 65.5 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 1.93 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 60 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 1.8 G. H-Binium. Whoa. H-Binium is a small terrestrial world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Though the planet has sufficient mass to maintain a much thicker atmosphere, much of it has been blasted away. The red giant Amazon is a long-period variable star, currently of a nadir of 16-year cycle. At peak, its energy output doubles, lashing a GBM with intense heat and radiation. The crust is mainly composed of aluminum with deposits of tin. Much of the surface is coated with the fine silicate dust, which easily penetrates the smallest cracks to foul machinery. Over the period of 1.8 Earth years, radius 4,910 kilometers, day length 42.1 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.17 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 72 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 0.79 G. Let's go find these new. Who should I bring? I'm thinking Tali. Perhaps Caden? Our techies. Hello. I'm maxing our pair. Find the probe. Got it. Destroy main service facility. Oh, Nephron in the Columbia system of the Voyager cluster. Oh, aren't we in the Voyager cluster? Okay, finish crime lords. The two criminals are located in the Han system of the Gemini cluster and the Dis system of the Hades Gamma cluster. We have killed the first and eliminated the second. Wait, did we go to the Dis system and the Hades Gamma cluster? Huh? I thought I went there. In the Kepler Verge. Need to see Kepler Verge. Kepler Verge. We got so much to explore still. So much to discover. We got some codex. Okay, let's listen to some codex here.
Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
Extension. Get that started. It is kind of more slack, isn't it? So close. Interesting that it's not hazardous plant. Seems like we can get out. Magnesium deposits. Yeah, light metal. A large deposit of magnesium. I guess we have so many planets to discover still. I think not even half of it. We got too many missions. But then we got so many planets. Is that that's the I'm not trying to famous pattern marathons. What? Can I come back to you? Let's go up the mountain. Let's go with the mountain. Movement that we are not helping me. Not helping me. They really am the deposit. Okay. Light metal, a large deposit of beryllium. Next time I'm going to a suitable or maybe as I get out of the system, I will do testing. I'm gonna upgrade my weapons. gonna go up to 8. I don't remember if it was the maximum was 10 or 12. Was it 10 or 12? I don't remember. If you're inside the logo, like how would you fare with all these rambunctious movements? Alright.
Mine shaft. That's the source.
A trap. It has to be.
I agree. This thing didn't crash. Somebody moved it here.
They may not know what they have. Let's find it before they set it off.
All right, Sheppard.
Caden's helmet is super cool. There's a little techie. Nice. Okay. First, let's see if we can update devices equipment. Oh boy. Oh. Whoa. Well. It's very explosive. Oh, nah. It's not good enough. How about that one? How about the medical interface? Yes. Relative coding. Relative coding. No. Okay, I'll keep this. How about you, Caden? Wow. Got so many. Prodigy. Okay, there. Mix. Kinetic buffer. I'll give you medical interface. Wow. Wow. This is a lot. An extension. Kinetic stabilizer. Pepatano. Shredder lens. What's incendiary? Kinetic. That's the level scanner. Okay. I do not enjoy white as a colorful clothing. Even though for the summer months is probably the best. Stiletto. Naginata. What you for her. We don't have nobody for her. She doesn't have much production though. She's got the ablative coating and damage production. Let's give her plus 120 shield. Let's see what we got. Let's save. Alrighty. What's over here? What's over here? We got door control. One is open, one is locked. This seems like a good battlefield spot. Probably as soon as we open. Okay. It's not here. Is it gonna be here? We have to disable the probe.
Seismic charge. Someone did that on purpose.
Sheppard, at last.
Who are you?
You have me at a disadvantage.
My name is Ilanos Halliot. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Sheppard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
In most criminal organizations, it's the one who's recognized as the most successful.
That's correct. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
You attacked Elysium.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed! I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating the first human Spectre?
My crew will come for me.
Let them. We'll be ready. An Alliance warship would make a fine prize. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't powerful enough to transmit out.
It doesn't have to be like this, Halliot.
Empty words from a dead man. Goodbye, Sheppard.
What do we do now, Sheppard?
We've got air and light, and the Normandy's still in orbit. Let's look for another way out.
There's no time to get out. You have to disable the bomb before it goes off. Disable. Okay, manually disable. Okay. Disable. Oh boy. Disable? Jesus, 3 points of disable. Okay. You've disabled the bomb. That was easy. Well, he wouldn't send people here if there was a bomb, right? Right? Maybe he's waiting outside. Are they waiting outside? Yeah. Upgrades. Upgrades. It's our map, right? Oh, that's where the beacon was. This is something else. Okay. Okay. I'm not facing, I'm just going into the Mako. Can I go into the Mako? I'm not facing. Getting back to my vehicle and just blowing me off the smithereens. So now there. Okay, it's moving. Yes. Elliot went through a lot of trouble to draw you here. I pity it ended like this. For him, at least. Now that you're above ground, your suit radio has re-established connection with Normandy. Time to get the hell out of here. Not before we have... See if there's something over here. Is there something here? No. There should be something. Something up here. Let's go. Nice. Oh. Dang it. Scavenger corpse. Turian insignia recovered. This body is a long way from anything and appears to have been here for quite some time. On the body is a book of drawings, including one of the Sigler outpost insignia. Okay. Sure, try and see. It's down there. Oh. There is something. What is this?
Heading out.
A corpse. Discovery. Brushing away the carbonization and on the door of the contragravity speeder, you see the Nazo brand name. Judging by the charring, the wreckage has been here since the star's last variable peak. The corpse is wearing the remains of an expensive suit and what appears to be melted antique aviator goggles. Was it one of the first... Was it one of the first experiments, maybe? Something specific. wonder if I should go on Ferris. Or we'll keep exploring a little bit more. Or maybe switch up to a different game. Or end the stream early. To have an episode, no time to rest. Maybe something wrong. Alright. Return to Normandy. Colombia. This is where the final server is. Yes. Roma. Oh, this is beautiful. This Roma is a rocky terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The frozen surface is mainly composed of copper with deposits of calcium. Prior to the Alliance's expansion into the Voyager cluster, Roma hosted one half-Arcturian interferometric telescope array, connected with similar telescope in the Atacama Beta cluster by an expansive chain of FTL convoys. The two function as a single virtual lens, an effective aperture equal to the thousands of light years between them. Turians use this to chart the terminus systems with great accuracy. Orbital period 115.6 Earth years, radius 4,911 kilometers, day length 3.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.13 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 218 Celsius, surface gravity 0.28 G. Medallion. Scans of the planet Gromar revealed a derelict space station in late stages of orbital decay. A small team was able to recover some items of interest, among them a League of One medallion. Medallions. Ontha Heather is an unusually large ice world with a core of silicate rock and light metals, and a trace amount of krypton and xenon. The crust is mainly composed of water ice. Ontha Heather's ice sheets show obvious signs of large-scale fracture and refreezing centered on a massive crater near the South Pole. A recent extranet meme suggests that a protein... Wait, was it 2008? Or did they reinsert it? When was the first mention of a meme? A recent extranet meme, well, they still will be in the future, suggests that a Protean ship crashed through the crust of the planet before the collapse of their empire and might still be recovered from the planetary core. This is purportedly the source of the planet's unusually high mass. Careful mapping of Ontha Heather's gravity field by orbiting satellites have proved that the planetary core is entirely normal. Orbital period 5.2 Earth years, radius 3,718 kilometers, day length 56.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.06 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 124 Celsius. Rare element, a deposit of samarium. Neferon is a barren volcanic terrestrial world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of sodium with deposits of magnesium. Aside from displays of geological beauty, including many spectacular volcanoes, this barren world is of little interest. Entries relating to Neferon is the astronomical database are sparse in the astronomical database. Orbital period 0.8 Earth years, radius 6,865 kilometers, day length 56.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.73 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 37 degrees Celsius, surface gravity 0.88 G. Closure. Lugia is a hothouse terrestrial world with a dense atmosphere measured in sulfur dioxide. The surface is scorching hot, mainly composed of iron with deposits of gold. The core of Lugia is very hot and tectonically active. Volcanic eruptions are common, and outgassing continues to add to the density of the atmosphere. The largest active volcano has a caldera nearly 100 kilometers in diameter, and its basalt floods have covered an area roughly the size of the Earth's continent of Australia. Orbital period 0.3 Earth years, radius 7,074 kilometers, day length 47.6 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 18.33 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 312 Celsius, surface gravity 1.1 G. Let's land on my farm. Let's land. Let's go hunt the Cerberus. I need warriors. You ready to shoot? The scary arguments into the fray. Fitness. Okay. Oh, we're close to level 42. How many levels are there? 60, right? 60, right? I think it's 60. Beautiful. Thorium deposits. Rare element. A large deposit of thorium. Also, I can check for my special courier, Sam, in Death Stranding. I have to go back and see if I can upgrade and maintain more things. Nice, all the new deposits. Very nice. Place them in all the convenient places. Yeah. Platinum deposit. Heavy metal. Platinum. And a level up. Let's give them as much health. Hospital, no! 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 They fill in the deposit. Brilliant. Lead metal. Deposit out the weapon. Nice. Could there be 4 of them? Crashed road. Nice. Okay. Could there be more roundabouts over here? Obliterated. Obliterated. They flew off. They flew off. Holy moly. Holy moly. They flew off. Alright, Cerberus. Alright. Let's see what you got.
Shields down.
What the? They're from behind the wall? Oh, come on. Let's get this. Still so fast. He's like a sniper. They're all snipers. Oh, that was nice. All the snipers were here, so there's probably gonna be more in the next part. Let's see what we got. It says that over there, there's a mission. I'm looking for loot. Nice. Looting. Looting. Super nice. Oh yeah. Natural. Nice. Did I upgrade their equipment? I don't think so, did I? Even though we don't use all these weapons. No. I think I should do first turn. It's very good. Titan. Titan. Hey. You want that? Oh, better put Titan on. Okay. Shield modulator. Energized weave. Kinetic buffer. Much powerful stuff. Jaden. Oh. I think you got the most. Oh. Better armor still. Wow. Look at this way. Man, the shotguns are powerful. How about we equip the we're not tight space. Maybe the shotgun is good. Good option. I just went terminal. You consciously press a few buttons and my alarm chimes. The optical database is flashing itself. Quickly, you copy as many files as you can to your hard suit's internal computer. Its memory wiped, the computer shuts down. The files are sure to be encrypted, but you've got time to crack them. Oh. That's it. Yes, that's it. No more servers. No more servers. Oh. Okay. Mummified Solarian. ID tag. This Cerberus soldier has an identification tag for Captain Varsint, one of the Solarian soldiers responsible for capturing the League of One. It's unclear how he came into possession of this relic. Underground facility or engine debris. Is it gonna be a pressure now? Is it gonna be a pressure? I have to read the whole thing. Oh, great. think it's time for me to stop, and I'll do it next time. It's a little bit subsided, but I need some rest and figure out if I can eat something, because I need food in my system. I need to properly rest. I would have gone on for another hour at least, but I'm gonna stop now. If I feel better, maybe I'll come back later. I don't know if I saved. Did I save inside the facility? Maybe I'm further in than I thought I was. Anyway, it's not a big old deal. It's not too much of a thing. I'm gonna see if I can relax a little bit and get better. I think, I don't know if I have the energy to come back later. I still need to check some documents and stuff. So, the lighting is, the green screen is over here, right? Yeah. It's a bit off. Well, as usual, thank you so much for showing up, and I hope you're okay. You're able to drink, eat, and rest properly. You're not sick, like I am, and you're not overworked and too much trying to get the bread home, bring the bread home, and you're doing what you love, and you're able to have loved ones and challenges that keep you growing and learn something new every day. And see you next time, maybe later today or whatever time it is. It'll be like 2 hours minimum. Just maybe like a small stream. I don't know if I'll have the energy for it, but maybe, or the health for it, for what it is. So I'm glad you're about it. Glad you're downstairs, probably ippy and sleeping and away from me chit-chatting and blabbing, yapping. See you next time.